All right, let's party like it's $24.99. That's probably about what Starfield costs right now. Come on. You can do it. Oh my god. Monster Hunter update is live! Well, I guess I'll have to put it back on the list of things to play. Is it everything you've dreamed of? Everything you've ever wanted in life? Alright.
I wouldn't be surprised if I was transferred to the central office.
Alright, well, I can't help think like we got screwed there, but whatever. It's not my money, right? Living the dream.
Yeah.
Oh, there's stuff.
Did you know? Fine work. My end of the bargain then, I suppose. He's holed up in the old Red Devil's HQ. Place was sealed up tight after the UC shuttered our unit, but we snuck him in the back entrance through the deep mines.
Oh.
Was also going to warn you about spacers down there. But it sounds like you might have already tossed those dregs.
Yeah, I'm a tosser.
The passkey. And I'll let him know there's someone he owes one hell of a thank you on their way down.
Right, this time we won't lose his mind, I guess.
The Red Devils aren't exactly your average bar crowd. You can see it in their eyes.
Okay, I'm out.
We don't belong.
Let's go. Holy chonker. Good thing it's low gravity here. Holy butts. Alright. What am I rocking here in terms of ammunition?
Keep a lookout. Notify us.
What is that? It's like a sliding drumstick. Is it a goose that's been tipped? Its side. Yeah, okay. Yeah, it's a duck. Okay.
Careful with that spacesuit. One serious puncture, and you're done.
Serious puncture, like from a shank? Sarah can take it, don't worry about it. Wait, we were already in here. So how did we miss this guy while we were murdering literally everything? Why do I keep going in circles? That's the real question. It's a duck. I guess there's gonna be a doorway where I needed the key? UHs are gross. I am mildly confused as to where I'm supposed to be racing off to at the moment. It might actually be up, to be honest. Like this whole back way may not have been the right path. I went in a circle again. I'm the greatest navigator to have ever lived. Yeah, I feel like I'm going the wrong direction though, either way. Where the F would the door be? I don't remember seeing any doors that weren't keen to open. Bruh. No, that's way out. So this is the drill. So it's, oh. Very cool. Another heat leech pod. This doctor guy is really far down there. Little rover. Well, hematite? Why not? Okay. Was I not supposed to yoke myself off then? I guess that's fair. Boo. Ugh. Syntha meat, gross. I don't even have for skill points. I do have a couple skill points. I haven't picked enough locks though. Hmm. Why not, I guess. Shooting things is always helpful. Heavy weapon certification. I feel like rifles are just really good all the time? I guess I haven't actually done any pickpocketing. Probably should think about it. I randomly pickpocket people that are just hanging out. I don't even think this stuff is worth it. What's the point? I guess we can make some drugs with it. Always a good time.
Constructing that massive structure in this cavern must have been quite a feat. I suppose it was a bit like building a ship in a bottle.
It's kind of cool. Definitely a lot of stuff to pick off the walls if I'm so inclined. Don't think I'm that interested, to be honest, but hack rat side of me is like, don't leave anything behind. I doubt I'll use any of it anyway. Probably got enough. At least for the foreseeable future. If I need more, I can always come back, I guess. Oh. Somebody hasn't been doing their job.
Now you want to explain to me why you're going around harassing nefarious old men by wiping away their hard-earned debts?
Dr. Walker, I've got a tissue sample I need to analyze. Full workup.
Tissue sample? You came all the way down here for that? Must be some damn important cells. You want to tell me what I'm about to be staring at?
Tal Gourmet's own free-range, 100% human-fed terramorph cells.
Terramorph attack, huh? Not exactly sure why you'd be bringing that. Wait, Tal Gourmet? Like Tal Ceti Tal Gourmet? That's a joke, right? There's no settlement old enough on Tal Ceti to have a terramorph. Either someone's setting up the worst petting zoo in the universe, or who exactly told you to bring this to me?
Adrian Sannon.
Adrian? She gave you this? If she made you come all the way for this... Let's get inside. I need to see these cells.
Splinter cell. Third detachment, the Red Devils. Neo City Hustler outfit. Yoink. Oh, it's not actually theft.
Gonna ask you to not touch anything. Got some projects in the works down here. I wasn't expecting guests. Oh, and Lou mentioned how you took care of the debt. Can't say I'm thrilled the trade authority got their mitts on the resource, but I guess that's the price you pay not to let them deal with us.
I'm gonna steal anything that isn't nailed down that's of value. Tranquility! Lemon pack. Oh, spiced worms. Hell yeah. Little chunk cola. Yeah. Cola flavored chunks. A personal groomer. Some flip lighters. Nice.
Oh, the fact that the UC was entertaining the notion of xeno-warfare angers me to the core.
I mean, they didn't just entertain it, they did it. Like, my god.
Adrian really gave you this sample. You're not lying to me? Because if you told me this was a hoax, and it'd be the best damn fake I've ever seen, I'd be mad and very, very relieved.
Sample's not a fake. I collected from the Terramorph myself.
Can't just humor an old man, huh? This sample, it's got all the indicators of the worst Terramorph attack in human history. I presume you've heard of Londinian.
Sounds familiar, yeah.
It was a city wiped completely off the map by Terramorphs. The swarms are so bad, they had to blow the spaceport and seal the place off from the galaxy at large. Not a lot of samples made it off the world from the time of the attack, but the ones that did, well, they look just like this one. I didn't detect any of the telltale signatures this specimen ever sat on a ship while it was alive either. I don't think it was transported to Tal Ceti. This specimen, it grew there, faster than any Terramorph should. Which means, if we're about to start a new era in human-Terramorph relations, where big, sudden Londinian-style attacks can happen outside Londinian, that's not gonna end well for humanity. So, you lugged this bad omen all the way here. You wanna tell me what your plans are for it now?
Or Bizarre to take you and that analysis to Hadrian. She should be waiting at the 6th circle.
The circle, huh? Could use a drink about now. Here, faster we take the lift to the surface. Not supposed to use it, but given the circumstances, I'm inclined to just ask forgiveness. Let's get going.
How convenient. Can I do some more research? More performance enhancing drugs? Hell yeah. It's kind of disappointing. Oh, I found some red meat. Sick. Where do I get small primers from? You think there'd be more goodies down here? But sure. Alright. Let's go for it. Hello, Hydran. Apparently this is the one time I'm not allowed to fast travel. Where are we going, Dr. Percival? Back to the mines? I feel like this doesn't actually make any sense. There's got to be a faster way. Mars research. I should have paid more attention to the dude. Maybe it was out. Maybe this is it. Yeah, okay. Sick. Down the hole we go.
Always nice to kick back in the broken spear. Crime's at an all-time low around this town.
Is that really her? Adrian.
Percival.
Good day, Mr. Riley.
You're an old man.
How goes the attempt of getting in the
hassling yourself
police
anymore,
force?
Major. Our friend here showed me your sample. Suffice it to say,
Not here. Let's talk somewhere more private. Lou said we could use the back.
I wish we kept the ship's gravity this low.
Sweet.
It's an awfully pleasant sensation.
Lou gave me the abridged version of what went down. I can't thank you enough for taking care of all that.
makes two of us.
I hope
Is he on the other
ultimately
side of the
won't end up
wall?
being too much trouble.
Amazing. A little more gunfire than I usually like on my delivery jobs, but nothing I couldn't manage.
That's certainly not what I was expecting you'd have to go through. But thank you. I'm just glad you both came through intact. So, were you two able to get that workup together?
Got it right here. That sample? It's an exact match for the ones from Londinian.
Londinian. That's exactly what I was afraid of.
Not thrilled to be the bearer of that kind of news. That's for damn sure. So tell me you've got some kind of plan for that workup.
Well, right now, we've got more questions than answers. So I've been trying to figure out what it's gonna take to access our old Terramorph data.
Good place to start. What'd you find?
It's in the archives.
The Armistice Archives?
Uh-oh.
Doesn't that mean we'd be dealing with the Cabinet? And the Freestar Collective? And House Varun somehow? Guess we can kiss that approach goodbye.
I didn't think the cabinet would be willing to hear us out either. But I called in some favors. They've agreed to hear us out on two conditions.
You mean the goat test?
One, they want to see this analysis you two have procured. And two, they want to discuss what happened on Tau Ceti. With both of us.
The cabinet? What's that?
The cabinet's the UC's highest governing body. The president, top military brass, scientific and diplomatic division heads. Any major decision the UC makes goes through them. They're the only real chance we've got of unlocking the archives. So without their blessing, we're flying blind.
That's amazing. Doesn't sound like any run-of-the-mill data you're after. Think you owe me an explanation.
Of
I actually
course.
understand this
You
already.
deserve the full story. Percival and I, we're not just researchers.
Yeah, the
We were
Xeno
military
warfare people.
scientists.
Yeah.
Ran a division of the UC together that deployed.
And then they took all
aliens on
that
the
crappy
battlefield
research and tossed it
as
into a
weapons.
vault.
Place I was hiding out. That was our unit's home base.
After some early fits and starts at other facilities, the place eventually became the heart of UC Xeno warfare. A practice that's been banned ever since the armistice went into effect almost 20 years ago. And the UC military cut us loose for what we
He's on the other side of the wall, but it's funny either way. And what does that make you two now? Is UC going to throw me in prison for helping you?
No. We were both dismissed after the war for what we did. These days, we're just concerned citizens with a very particular area of expertise. Our damage has been done for a long time.
I was wondering if you were ever going to share that nugget with me.
Oh. You already knew. I'm sorry about that. It didn't seem relevant in the moment, and well, it's not something I'm exactly proud of. But it was during that assignment that the UC asked us to explore deploying terramorphs on the battlefield. The project never got off the ground, but the data our team gathered is now sitting in the archives, along with all the other information banned after the Colony War. Under the watchful eye of monitors from all the galactic factions still participating in regular politics. But if we can convince the cabinet to help us access that data, it'll give us the tools we need to decipher what exactly this sample might mean. And hopefully, how to prevent more attacks like the one that spawned it.
Hopefully. Okay, let's go talk to this cabinet.
All right. I'm gonna go get this work up into the cabinet's hands. I'll meet you out front of Mast in New Atlantis.
Good luck. You two are gonna need it.
Oh!
You should give that recipe a whirl.
A less than 10% chance I'm gonna go blind? It's amazing. What the actual F?
11 months until their next fix. A petition has reached 100,000 signatures asking, begging chunks to operate year-round. The chunks spokeswoman said, holiday chunks require special ingredients we can only get during that
Holiday chunks. Uh-oh. Actually, I should get more ammo while we're here. I think I need 6.5 and 7.6 something? Nope, 7.77. Lucky sevens and 6.5. There's mast, but I want to go here. Straight to the arsenal.
You're here because you need something you can connect with. Something you can count on. Am I right?
Yeah, that's why I want a gun.
There's something to be said for brand loyalty. I'm sure we can find something that's...
Actually, first, let's... I think I already sold everything. Yeah, I have basically no mass. All right. So 6.5. Oh, I already bought all the fun stuff. This is the higher end stuff, I think. I don't know. Apollo Tower. Actually, I guess I can just menu field it to great justice here. Yep. Talk to the scientist by the tree. Life is amazing. All right.
Captain, over here. The
Got
workup's in
here
the cabinet's
fast.
hands. They said they'll call for us once they've gotten to properly review it. But listen, I know I should have been more forthcoming about who I was earlier. So, in the interest of full disclosure, there's one more thing you ought to know before we head out.
I'm a terrormorph.
My relationship with the UC. It's more complicated than it might seem at first glance. The UC's actually the only reason I'm here in the first place. I am a clone of a man named Francois Sanon, one-time fleet admiral of the UC during the Colony War, former head of the UC Navy. They called him Ve Victus. Woe to the defeated, in Old Earth Latin. A title he earned. The program I was a part of, it was the UC's attempt to create a new generation of military minds from one of their most respected tacticians. Secure the leadership of the UC military for generations to come.
This Ve Victus must have been an impressive commander for the UC to want to clone him.
He would have happily told you he was one of the greats. Ultimately, though, it didn't matter. The man I was cloned from, my father, was executed for acts he committed during the war. The man caused a lot of death on both sides. Freestar Collective and UC. Military and civilians. And the things he did, well, they're a part of the reason the UC and Freestar Collective aren't really on great terms to this day. So my involvement, it could be another obstacle they throw at us up there. I just wanted you to be forewarned.
What did your father do to merit being executed?
He had his men open fire on civilian ships during the Battle of Cheyenne.
That's a good
A
one.
battle that he ultimately ended up losing anyway, devastating the UC fleet and bringing the Colony War to an ugly end for the UC. But he's also the one who ordered the bombing of the Londinian spaceport during their outbreak, condemning countless lives. Both sides agreed the settled systems would be better without him.
Wow. And I thought my family was messed up.
Well, my areas of expertise are
We
pretty
should actually
specific.
visit my family, I guess.
Messed up families are up there. You know, while we've got a second, was there anything else we needed to discuss? I know you got dropped into the middle of this pretty fast. Or if you've got any last-minute business to attend to, now might be a good time. No telling how long the cabinet's gonna keep us waiting out here.
So when I sent away my adoring fan, does he never come back? Your eyes, they're red. Is that a result of the cloning process?
That's actually a souvenir from my time on Mars. The Red Devils unit I was a part of, they were founded by recruits who'd worked some of Mars' deepest mines. Folks used to adversity.
The Sith.
The dust at those depths, it seeps into everything. The human eye included. Where the name Red Devils came from in the first place. It became an unwritten rite of passage that anyone wanting to enlist with the Devils had to do a stint in the mines before they could join up. The Devils were always talked about in such revered tones during my training, so as soon as I was old enough, I signed up. And the eyes were my parting gift.
So honestly, what are the risks of us accessing this data?
Eye strain from the amount of reading I've got on the horizon if we succeed.
Yeah.
The Terramorph project never went anywhere. It couldn't. They're deadly creatures, but they aren't xenoweapons. The cabinet not opening the archives is probably a bigger risk than them handing over the files. That data itself isn't dangerous, which probably wouldn't be a bad point for us to bring up, should the opportunity arise.
Don't have any questions, no.
Then I guess it's just a matter of...
The cabinet meeting is about to begin. All parties, please proceed to the cabinet chambers.
Sounds like our cue.
Sounds like my cue to get a drink. I'm just a guy in a suit. All right, let's get rolling.
Ah, Captain. Congratulations on joining the ranks of the Vanguard. Here on Vanguard business?
Nope.
Enjoy your time in New Atlantis.
Straight to the cabinet chambers. United Colonies.
Yes.
This guy looks almost identical to my previous dude.
Ah, welcome. You must be the Captain Hadrian mentioned in her report. You have our thanks for the risks you faced in securing this information.
Adrian made it clear that addressing this issue required the utmost urgency.
Oh, I'm sure she did.
Yes, well, precisely how urgent is what I hope we'll determine here today. So now, we have two petitioners here making a surprising request. Access to the UC Xeno Warfare Team's Terramorph data, currently housed in the Armistice archives. A request which will require not just this body's agreement, but that of all 3 Armistice signatories. UC, Freestar Collective, and House Varun. Now, Captain, we've all read Hadrian's report on the subject, but we have yet to hear from you. Perhaps you could summarize for the Cabinet what it is you see as the goal of this endeavor.
We need the archival data to find a way to stop a possible Terramorph apocalypse.
That's quite the leap, Captain. Madam President, I object to the very premise of this meeting. While no one would argue that what happened on Tau Ceti was anything less than a tragedy, Terramorph attacks are not some sudden new threat on the horizon. They've been happening for generations. To demand we hand over banned archival knowledge and possibly upset the balance of galactic diplomacy because of a single attack seems at best panic. And at worst, a power grab by the daughter of a bloodthirsty warmonger and her associates.
I would remind the chief diplomat who he's speaking to. If it's my father you're looking to address, you're welcome to consult a medium. I would also ask, how many deaths the Cabinet requires to act? 50? 50,000? Because if tragedies like Tau Ceti are just prelude to more attacks, I have no doubt you'll get the body count you require.
Let's keep this civil, shall we? And while there should be no doubt the preservation of life stands paramount among this body's duties, Chief Yassine has a point. Will a single attack, however troubling, be sufficient to convince the other factions to grant us access to what they no doubt consider weapon data? I don't think it's enough. Perhaps you can help, Captain. As the one who actually collected the sample in question, did this Terramorph seem at all alarming to you?
Alarming. You wiped out a colony that never saw it coming. That's pretty alarming.
That is worth considering. This attack took place on an almost completely uninhabited world. The casualties were minimal as a result. But if there's another attack, will we be so lucky?
Yes, a fine point, Admiral. So then, Captain, given the discussion now and the information you've been privy to thus far, if you were in our position, would you grant the request made to open the archives?
Yes. If the fear is the data being weaponized, the Terramorph program failed. The data's not dangerous.
It doesn't matter if it can be weaponized or not. The archives need to remain sealed for now.
Get out of here, Sarah.
Decision of this magnitude.
That? I hadn't thought of that, Captain.
An excellent point indeed. The other powers would likely be much more inclined to work with us knowing that. Chief Diplomat.
That point is a good one. Very well, you have my agreement. The galaxy is lucky you were here today, Captain.
You and I are in agreement, Chief Diplomat. So, if there are no other objections, I believe we can agree to give our full backing to make the request to... What was that?
Oh no! An incident!
Incident? Chief Sarkin, what's happening?
There's been an attack at the spaceport. Terramorphs.
Terramorphs. More attacks. Just as predicted.
Good God.
Damn it. They're here. Now.
That's what you get, Sarah.
Another explanation. The creatures evaded our scanner somehow.
There will be plenty of time for conjecture later. Chief Sarkin, order the evacuation of the spaceport and have your men contain the things, but do it discreetly.
YouTube is not broken for you.
The last thing we need is a citywide panic.
Yes, ma'am.
Admiral Logan, the local barracks can provide support?
I'll make the order myself. Nearest anti-Xeno squad, though, is off-world. Gonna take a while to bring them in.
Well then, we'll have to make do with the tools we've got.
Good thing I'm a giant tool.
Can't risk those things getting out of the spaceport. I want you both on the next train there. We'll let them know you're coming and that you've dealt with these things before. Now go show them how it's done.
Yeah.
We didn't get where we are by sitting on our laurels. Our laurels, in fact, have been habitable a long time ago. Helps to remember that.
Yeah, let me double check, man. Whoop. Whoop. No. Dirty Harry. I never actually saw that. I think it was kind of before my time.
You! The EM rifle, grab it! Now!
Why?
That's it. Now hit him with everything to help you.
What's this all about? Sure.
Stop! Help us!
Okay.
I'd be happy to carry a few things.
Just a few things? Do I have her just equip this?
Bye for now.
I don't have an EM weapon. All I've got is punchy things. Alright.
Thank you for what you did. We didn't want to hurt them.
The way those people were acting, I've seen this before. They were under the Terramorph's influence, weren't they?
I don't know. They were down at the port and they just started screaming. We tried to restrain them, get them on the train to get them out of harm's way, but some of the other officers down there, we couldn't restrain them fast enough. They just started firing on us. People we knew. They went berserk.
Pheromonic projection. Some Terramorphs, they can induce this fog. It affects everyone differently, but some people just lose control, turn against everyone around them, even if they don't want to. They're like a puppet. You kill the morph, you break the hold. But this means we're gonna need to be real careful with our fire, and keep that EM weapon at the ready.
So does this mean I need to worry about you turning on me?
I honestly was just wondering the same thing. But no, you don't need to worry about me. I've had a Terramorph try it on me before. I'm not susceptible. So we'll just have to make sure to watch out for each other down there.
Sounds like we need to hustle.
Let's do it.
Nat's unlocked. Please, do what you can to help them.
Can I have another EM weapon? Like... I probably need another one. Can I steal this caseless stuff? They didn't even know what happened. Do I have another EM weapon at all? I do not. All I have is kill people weapons. Alright, well we could punch them, I guess. It's gotta be non-lethal.
Wait. Did you hear?
What's the Constellation armor glitch? Can I just pickpocket rando people, like, right in front of them, basically?
You picking a pocket or a fight?
Why not both? I gotta level up my pickpocketing. Can I get up there? I guess not. I've been caught pickpocketing. Oh no. I am criminal scum. Is an armor display in the basement? It's a master log, but you can look at the glass crack and just take it. Oh. I feel like the time dilation thing is enough. Yeah, he is pretty spicy. Man, my reload time. Sick mitts.
Wait, officer? Are you and this woman experts? Take whatever we can get right now. We've got the remaining creatures locked down on the landing pad. We're barely holding our perimeter. They said you've done this before. Well, one fire team to spare and whatever supplies you need, but I can't risk them taking over any more women.
Okay.
Put those things down and do it fast. We'll hold them as best we can.
Good work, man. What's even the point of the fire team? Does it even matter? Just steal it all, because I have a feeling this is gonna come back to haunt me.
Turn my people against us.
Shit, do I even care about the fire team? I think I'm gonna leave them here. Wow. Invaluable meat shields, maybe. Even my weapons are absolutely awful. This thing has a ton of hit points. It's getting in my mind.
You're going to be okay. It's not real. Whatever you're experiencing right now, it's not real. We have to put down that lore.
I'm totally fine. Don't worry about it. Must shank that lady. It's a good thing I bought a lot of ammo. Ow. All the Terramorphs are down.
Areas of the city, we would have had an absolute massacre on our hands.
That's actually pretty funny. And I remember playing the hardcore stuff on Fallout 4, but I don't know, it didn't really add anything to the game. Man, this is so convenient. I've been caught. It's okay.
Guess they weren't kidding about you two. The universe put the right people in the right place.
Yeah, everybody's got that thing. I'm not going to try to challenge myself. You all held the line. You're the heroes here, not us.
Certainly doesn't feel like it.
I don't want to think what would have happened if you two hadn't been here.
Just glad we could rise to the occasion. Captain, we should report back to the President. Let her know the Terramorphs have been dealt with. Take care of yourself, Sergeant.
Let her know my ammo cache is gone forever. Where you at, Sarah?
Yeah?
I gotta have you equip stuff.
I'll only carry.
Okay. Oh, she put this weapon back on. I guess that makes sense.
Until later.
Insomnia until he passes it. I don't know, there's some things that just don't appeal to me much anymore. There are some games that I will play on max difficulty, like Doom. Fast travel can kill you.
Whole building's on lockdown.
That's a relief to hear. Thank you.
Can't pickpocket that guy? Can I pickpocket you? No? Those are some amazing pants.
Hey.
Hey. You got anything I can steal? How about you? No?
I can't imagine what it was like down there.
Oh, kind of like when the eclipse come and jump you.
Excuse me?
Those creatures killed
Captain?
citizens.
Hadrian,
They're not killing anyone.
it would appear that the cabinet owes you our thanks for what you did for the city today, as well as an apology. Your concerns about the Terramorphs, well, consider them validated.
Thank you, ma'am.
Agreed. Thank you.
Of course. I only wish we could have acted sooner. Now, today's events have only clarified our path forward in the eyes of the cabinet. You will have our full support in collecting the Terramorph data from the archives, as well as a subsequent investigation into the nature of these attacks. But to accomplish those goals, we're going to need the right people in the right places. As such, the cabinet has authorized me to reinstate you, Hadrian, effective immediately, to your former rank of Major. As soon as we've got the data in hand, we want you investigating these attacks and how to stop them. Will you do this?
Yes. Yes, ma'am. I'd be honored.
Excellent. But as you've both made clear, for such an investigation to succeed first, we're going to need someone to convince the Freestar Collective and House Varun to play ball. Someone who knows precisely the sorts of dangers the colonies and all the galaxy are facing right
It's gonna hit me, right?
The cabinet wants you, Captain, to be
Yeah,
that
of course, great. Me? Why not send a diplomat? Someone trained for this sort of thing.
The cabinet wants progress, and wants it quickly. You're already far more familiar with the situation than any diplomat would be.
Awesome.
There's also no diplomat alive that can claim they helped keep a cadre of Terramorphs off the embassy doorsteps. The cabinet was unanimous. They want you.
If you're sure that's the wisest course of action.
We do. In exchange, we're willing to fast-track your citizenship
Oh,
upon collection
sick.
of the data. So, will you help us?
You can count on me, ma'am.
I'm glad to hear it. Now, we, of course, won't be sending you in without the proper support. Deputy McIntyre in the Office of Interstellar Affairs will be your guide on gaining access to the archives. You should be able to find her in her office across the hall. And on
Lovely.
behalf of the whole of the United Colonies, you have our thanks. You're dismissed.
Yay.
I'm gonna go check in with Chief Engineer Kulkarni.
Listening to these people is a tragedy.
What?
Chief Yassine, these orders. A Vanguard captain. You... Yes, sir. I'll make sure they get...
Guys at the vets tomorrow? Hope it's okay. Good luck with your thing at HQ.
That must make you my Vanguard captain. Welcome to Interstellar Affairs. I'm Deputy Chief Diplomat McIntyre, Chief Yassine's second in command. I heard you were instrumental in protecting the city from the attack. You have my gratitude. I was also informed that you gave quite the presentation to the cabinet. Chief Yassine wants you to know the Interstellar Affairs Office is fully committed to this endeavor, accessing the Terramorph data and beyond. We're going to do
Gotta be exciting
everything in our
stuff.
power to make sure you have the tools you need, and that
Big
means
changes.
first getting you into the archives. You do know what the archives are, correct?
They're the repositories for all the banned data from the colony war.
Someone paid attention in current events.
Yeah, I watched all those things.
So, then you also know that it was originally managed by the 3 major galactic players.
Mm-hmm.
Access to the archives is only granted in cases of dire emergency, and requires a one-time use code from each of the 3 Armistice signatories. UC, Freestar Collective, and
You
House Farouk.
see, now I need the other
UC
2.
is already on board, so that means we'll need to convince 2 people. The ambassadors of the Freestar Collective and House Farouk to hand over
House
their
Faroon's
codes.
gonna be a big friggin' deal, I
Get them
guess.
both, and you'll have your data. But that's a lot easier said than done.
You'd think they'd be clamoring to help after the spaceport attack.
I couldn't agree more. However, both ambassadors have reasons they won't, or can't, work with us. Now, I'll provide guidance on how we believe you can acquire each code, but ultimately, it'll be up to you to get them both to cooperate.
Sweet.
And I do mean cooperate. Threats and violence are off the table
Ha!
here.
That's what you think.
Though that doesn't mean we can't get creative. But it does mean we need to get you up to speed on who you're dealing with. Who do you want to start with? Ambassador Radcliffe of Freestar, or Ambassador Balmore of House Farouk?
Tell me about Radcliffe.
The good Ambassador Radcliffe. She's a veteran of the Colony War, and her only goal in life is to make ours miserable.
Perfect.
Now, officially, our office is suggesting you try and negotiate with her. Use your experiences as a member of the military and with the threat we're facing to convince her to lend her support. And who knows? Maybe that'll work. Stranger things have happened. But my suspicion is we're going to have to rely on other tools to get her code.
All right. Tell me about these other tools then.
Certainly. See, good diplomacy is all about the careful application of pressure. We just need to find the squeeze.
Oh.
UC Intelligence has a recording device planted in the ambassador's living quarters, which we suspect you can use to your advantage. But getting caught trespassing is a quick way to land yourself in an embassy holding cell. So, if you are going to try and access the device, you're going to need to find a way in there without being seen. Now, we recovered some intel we believe should be able to help with that. But there's also a disgruntled staff member you might be able to pump for information. Maybe even convince to work with you.
Any other things I should avoid doing inside the embassy?
Yes, many. Don't steal anything. Don't get caught anywhere you're not supposed to. Absolutely do not harm anyone. If something goes wrong, we'll do our best to smooth things over, but I can't make any promises.
What can you tell me about this staff member?
Name's Cameron Long. He's younger than Ratcliffe, bears less of a grudge towards the UC. He works closely with the ambassador, making him a promising source for information on the ins and outs of embassy life, and someone who very likely hates her guts.
Oh. That's all the info I need for the moment on Ambassador Radcliffe.
All right. Here, your diplomatic ID. I'll give them a heads up you're on your way. Not likely to let you through the door otherwise. And take these. Chief Yassine wanted you to have some options on how to proceed in there.
Tell me about Ambassador Balmore of House of Arun.
Ambassador Balmore's a challenge. When the rest of House Farouk retreated into seclusion shortly after the signing of the armistice, Balmore stayed here. He's since lent his support to a small number of archival requests, so there's real hope he might again. Though claiming to know how a member of House Farouk thinks is a quick way to earn yourself a psych eval.
Snake people. Why? What's wrong with House of Arun?
Well, these days, they're primarily considered a security threat. House Farouk Zealots, a fundamentalist outshoot of the group that stayed behind when the rest retreated into seclusion, want nothing more than to send everyone not dedicated to their cause to the great serpent in the sky. But that hasn't always been the case. After they ended the Serpent's Crusade about 70 years back, House Farouk did take a real run at trying to normalize relations with the rest of the galaxy. It's why they have an embassy here in the first place.
why they were included in the armistice negotiations, but then, without warning, they left, leaving behind, to our knowledge, just the ambassador and his duty under the armistice.
I'm sure he can be reasoned with. Those Varun are people, just like us.
Well said. There's no reason to assume they're any worse than us, despite their cultural beliefs.
Of course. But there is another wrinkle. We're not 100% sure Balmore's actually still alive.
Oh.
His public appearances were always rare, but it's been several years now since he last poked his head out. Scans of the facility show life signs, but not the kind we were expecting.
Your task is to find him and kindly but firmly remind him of his duties under the armistice.
What kind of life signs did you detect in the embassy?
The Varun delegation brought more than a few of their native flora with them when they set up in the embassy. It seems those plants have been allowed to flourish, making it hard for us to verify what's flora and what's ambassador.
I'll, what do I do if he's dead?
Then you search the embassy for his biometric key, collect your code piece, and we'll go about notifying his next of kin, if we can ever find them. But let's hope it doesn't come to that.
I'll track him down.
I have no doubt. Now, the embassy front door isn't an option, but our spies have stated there's a side entrance that should allow you access. Here, this device should get you all the way down to the embassy interior. Once you're inside, though, finding the ambassador is going to be up to you. And fair warning, we received a report that alarms might have been tripped inside the embassy during the attacks. Watch out for automated security in there.
Now, if you have additional questions or require clearance for a new approach we haven't already discussed, don't hesitate to ask.
Can I just murder
I'd suggest
everyone?
you start with Ambassador Radcliffe. Approach her while the attack is still fresh in her and her staff's mind.
Be smart out there, Captain.
I'm loud and dumb. Huh.
Yes? What?
Oh, cool. It's the very top. That's unsafe. All right, I'll be right back. We're gonna jump off the tower. Ah! Wait, what's up here? Oh, is that just like the backside of mast? I'm actually surprised it's solid. It's basically nobody here. You can't just pickpocket. Oh, you can. Kinda. I guess we gotta avoid being a criminal. Have to make sure we pickpocket the correct people. Oh, damn it. We need more ammo. So I should probably go to... I don't know. UC colony thing. Outland's useless. Yeah, maybe the distribution center has stuff.
I'm afraid, due to recent legislation. Welcome to UC Distribute. I hope we have what you need.
So do I. You do, actually. Pretty cool.
Right. Come back if you need something else.
Never. Wait, are all the embassies on New Atlantis? I must have spaced out when they were talking about that. All right. Hi. This is Bobby.
Hey, it's you again.
Who the hell is this? Good to see you, kid.
You too. These are my parents. I told everyone they just got on a different shuttle, but nobody would listen. We're just exploring New Atlantis. We have a new apartment. This place is amazing. Anyway, it was nice to see you again.
I have no
Maybe
idea
I'll
who
see you
this
around.
is.
And don't forget my birthday. It's June 11th.
I missed our Bobby so much.
June 11th. That's almost soon.
Bobby mentioned he met you. It's a shame House Varun abandoned their embassy. I bet we could have learned a lot from one another.
Maybe. It's going in the front door.
Hard to believe it's been 2 decades since we were at war with the Collective, when it seems like only yesterday.
You are a visitor? You can go on through.
I don't want to though. Thought we were gonna have to sneak our way in or something. Do some Mission Impossible nonsense. Wonder if the new movie's any good.
I'm going to be upfront with you. I'm not happy visiting anything related to the Freestar Collective. But you lead, and I'll follow.
Can it, Sarah?
Security, and they still can't protect their own spaceport. The UC never fails to disappoint. I just wish I hadn't received the news from an SSNN broadcast. We have a strategic advantage to maintain, Mr. Long.
Of
course, ma'am. I'll make sure it doesn't happen again.
Excuse me. Are you supposed to be in here?
Sorry. Everyone's a little on edge after the attack.
I'm sorry. Do you have an appointment?
Do I ever? You seem like a lady who wants to stop more terramorph attacks. Well, have I got a deal for you?
What are you? Ah, you're the one McIntyre called about. The eyewitness. She said you were at the spaceport. You have my thanks for what you did down there, truly. Saved many lives. Now, she also mentioned that, and maybe it was just a bad connection, that now the UC wants terramorph data from the Armistice archives, some of the most highly guarded information in the galaxy, in order to protect us all. I can only presume you're here to tell me I misheard her and that they didn't send you, local hero, to futilely beg on their behalf. Tell me I've got that right.
You heard correctly. We need access to the archives.
I was afraid of that. Let me be frank, Captain. The answer is no. That information is there because it is dangerous. I will not be the one responsible for its release. Now, why don't you quit wasting my time and yours, and go?
Please, Ambassador, just listen to what I have to say.
You're really gonna push this? All right, I will give you one chance. One to convince me.
Mom Spaghetti's gonna be on the floor in no time. Thank you, Ambassador. Just hear me out.
I'm listening.
The Terramorph Xenoweapons project was a failure. And knowledge isn't dangerous.
You know that for sure. That is interesting.
Innumerable lives may hang on your decision here.
Please don't talk to me like I'm some cold-hearted monster. I'm trying to protect lives too.
Be the person the galaxy needs, Ambassador.
You're not gonna flatter me
Damn
into
it.
acting against the Freestar Collective's best interest. Captain, I'm sorry, but my answer is not changing. The UC is just gonna have to find another way. Now, I presume you can see yourself out.
Damn it. Well, guess we're just gonna have to do this the hard way.
That woman is an absolute... Oh, sorry. Oh, what? You're the Vanguard captain, right? You know, I was about to board the Nat to the spaceport when the alarm triggered. Sounds like I got real lucky. And like I've got you to thank for things not being a lot uglier.
Just doing my duty.
Doubt the Vanguard would have a lot of recruits if that were the job description. But I'll take your point. But look, they said you were coming here on official business. The ambassador likes to handle all that personally, even if she does have trained diplomats here to help her. And I don't want to get shipped back to Aquila City, so you should probably go speak to her.
Sounds like you could be doing more. A lot more. Like working with me.
You want to work with me? Why don't we talk somewhere a bit more private?
Oh, kinky. What's in here anyway? Hmm? Is there even anything worth stealing down here?
So you want me to work with you? But why now? Why me?
We need help preventing more terramorph attacks, and we're not expecting the ambassador's support.
No, I think that's a pretty safe assumption. And no other city should have to go through what happened here. So then, what would you need from me?
We need to get access to our quarters without being seen.
Her quarters. Huh. Oh, that's doable. And you and the UC will be providing me with what for my services?
I've got 1,000 credits with your name on them.
Oh, wait, I thought you were looking to hire me. Oh, I'm not taking a bribe.
You know what? I need to clear something with my superiors. I'll be right back.
Oh, all right. I'll be here.
I don't want to give this guy 8,000. That's an unbelievable amount of credits. It's actually kind of a reasonable apartment. See what he's got. Show me what you've got. I guess it's gonna be like this, and then like this, and then something like that.
You definitely know your way around a log.
Do I ever? Cat clearly uses a lot of skin cream. How do we do this?
Guests can make themselves comfortable in the lobby.
Oh, I was trespassing. Well. Why was the one not theft, but the other ones are?
Official business? Talk to the ambassador.
We're gonna wait until he patrols back. The way-in's gonna be through there. I can feel it. The gravity paradigm, wow, amazing. Master level event. Ugh. I'm not that good of a lockpick. Maybe I will have to pay the 8,000.
You're allowed 3 places: conference room, lobby, or the ambassador's office. You set foot anywhere else, there's gonna be problems.
Is there? Maybe you're the problem. Maybe I know what I'm doing. Oh, this is a freaking bathroom. I don't have the ability to get through this crap. Oh my gosh, this is awful. Can I pickpocket something somewhere?
If I were you, I'd put that back.
The answer is no. Ah! Can I just literally walk in? Like, damn it. Ah! Don't worry about it. It's fine. Does she have anything that's worth looking at? She does. Well, we know what we're gonna do in a moment. Do I have anything that actually amps up pickpocket ability or something? I guess I should have drank some wine or something before I went to town on her with the persuasion nonsense. Yeah. Basically nothing. This sucks. Wait, could I steal the embassy key from this guy? Nope. You have nothing. She left. Now I gotta just YOLO. See what happens. You got in there. What else can I do with this key? Oh, everything. Everything I've ever dreamt of. Okay. So let's go into the bathroom, I guess. Maybe. Or not. Not the vent I'm looking for sure. Wait, this is literally just downstairs, right? Can I just hit the machine?
Error. Biometric key required.
Ah! Sarah's there! Okay, so that's where the key generator thing is. This door is still locked even though I have the key. Interesting. You saw nothing.
Sounds like it was a real mess down at the spaceport.
Okay, that literally does nothing for me. Man, she has a lot of wine.
Agent detected. Patching in playback.
Are you alright, Ambassador? It seems the Council of Governors has rejected my appeal to join. Again, which means you and I are stuck in this colonial rat cage until we die. But I think we might need to. We should expedite the process. What are you getting at, ma'am? I mean, my requests keep being rejected because they don't want to add a seat, right? But what if one opened up? The life is hard. In what it used to be. It's not like anyone would miss him. Eva, I think it's time to get some sleep. Just think about it. Maybe we can reach out to some experts at that sort of thing, huh? Good night, Eva.
Interesting. Wait, how did I get in here? Oh, right. I've got to be very careful. God, Sarah, you keep freaking me out. I'm trying to do some espionage, and here we are. I feel like Cameron's a lot more amenable to our deals here. Let's find out.
I can get you into Radcliffe's office, but I need to know what I'm getting in return.
Oh. Alright, let's just go, let's go blackmailing.
Did I not make myself abundantly clear, Captain? You're not getting access to the
Man, this is not a good angle for her. I know your plan to replace someone on the Council of Governors.
Excuse me? I have no idea what you're talking about.
There's evidence. I imagine bad things would happen if your boss is found out.
No. If the council found out, I'd lose my position. I'd be exiled. Look, I believe we may have gotten off on the wrong foot. The issue at hand is one of trust, no? So perhaps if I can trust you to keep this little secret between us, then maybe we can find a way to trust the UC with access to the archives.
You call that a negotiation? Without even offering me a gift?
But where are my manners? Here, my pistol. Laredo. Custom made. Now, with my error rectified, I presume we have a deal?
You've got yourself a deal.
Good. I appreciate you working with me. Just like I'm sure our great powers will. In fact, I think there's an opportunity here. Keep both our factions happy and ensure an air of legitimacy to the whole proceeding. I can only let you get the information on the Terramorphs. Anything else and people will get suspicious. And all research will need to be monitored. Freestar scientific observers making sure everything's being used for the right purposes. But those two items should be enough to allay any suspicions.
I can agree to those terms.
Good. Okay, let's go get you your access.
Nice. What is his weapon? The Ambassador. It's got a long barrel, the laser sight, and a reflex sight. Kind of cool. Why not? To be honest, though, I'm more of a shanking kind of guy.
They tell me it should only take a moment. And there. It is reassuring to know there are still some people in this universe you can trust.
All right. Onward and upward, I guess. It's okay to be a little greedy, but not totally greedy, right? One out of 2 other codes. Is Varun's thing down in the well? Oh. Well, they've certainly chosen an interesting way of decorating. Okay, okay. So 3 cred sticks, caseless, hell yeah. Weird. $500 creds have been sent home to my parents. Gross. I guess we should go and visit them at some point. Oh.
But this isn't what I expected at all. It appears the flora they were using as decor has overgrown the entire embassy.
So it would seem. Okay, seems legit. Protect current users? Sounds good to me. Little orange soda on a pouch. That's like a Capri Sun. Alright, hello. I love breathing in grossness.
In my entire life. It'd actually be more fascinating if its branches weren't.
Oh, you can actually just jump it? That's funny.
Where did they go?
Good thing I already hacked the turrets. So suave, so sexy, so demure. Nothing quite like posing in the washroom. Well, don't think that makes any sense. I think this might work. No. It doesn't work either. What are we going for here? Don't think that one does anything. That looks like it'll work.
Find anything useful on there?
Did I ever? I'm not gonna get shot up for a little bit. It'll be a nice change of pace. Hello. How many more things do I have to mess with in order to be able to go to the next level? Oh, I can. Nice. Oh, God. Hmm. Heretic writings, hell yeah. Man, these guys really like the cream. I feel like I should bring this weapon around. Just because it'd be nice to have something that's non-lethal. Why was the turret trying to blast me? I thought I dealt with that. Alright, we got another complicated as heck thing to break into. Very enjoyable. Man, you're super flexible, Sarah. That's the quality right there.
Have anything valuable?
Don't even know if half this crap is useful. Sounds okay to me. A plushy parsec pooch. Oh my gosh. Kind of rude. Cake. We'll eat it all. Oh, interesting. That's just gonna be the faster way in? This is kind of tedious. Oops. I think I F that up. Oh, these are literally identical. Hello, Nikoko. Busy day? Beware the demons. Dinner with some friends after the gym? You have gym friends? I'm not surprised. What the heck? Some robo-dog.
So, it seems punishment becomes providence. A reminder we can never truly know the Great Serpent's designs for us. You have my thanks.
Oh, that's cool.
I apologize.
You can share your misery
You just
together.
endured. Come, let us discuss.
I wonder if I'd work out harder if I was working out with somebody in the room. I was just stealing when I had saved all of them. I have too much crap. Let's take a look here. I think I could just eat a bunch of stuff. Oh, a beer pack. Hell yeah. And loading tombstone. Volatile rounds that are designed to pack a bigger punch, but aren't as stable. Perfect. So all this common crap, I don't need it. Don't need that either. Gross. So much more powerful than this weakling man. It must be good for the ego. You know you're making progress.
Not the ideal introduction, I suppose, giving you a grand tour of the embassy via barely functioning intercoms. I do greatly appreciate your persistence. I suspect the Venom tree upstairs has worked itself into more systems than I'd realized. But then again, who could cage such a beauty? Eh? Tell me though, what is it like outside? I heard the broadcast mentioning an attack. Then the embassy was struck with a power surge and then silence. Has the rest of the city suffered quite so badly?
Did you say that thing pouring out clouds upstairs is called a venom tree? Is it poisonous?
harmless spores, you have my word, but hard to navigate. Hence why I was guiding you through the intercoms to restore the environmental controls. And release me. It is the sap of the tree that gives it its... well, perhaps not a topic for this exact moment. But I must know of the rest of the city. Does it still stand?
The spaceport is in rough shape, but not much else was damaged.
Is that right, huh? I shall need to have these repairs seen to sooner rather than later. Now, it cannot solely be the Serpent's grace that brought you here at such an opportune moment. You were sent by the UC. That much is obvious. Who else could just waltz through my door, And the broadcast spoke of terror morphs at the spaceport. A worrying occurrence, certainly, but coming here of all places, when all I could provide is some enthused cheerleading and... an archive code. So the UC requires information, then. On terror morphs, presumably, Do I see this all clearly?
Correct. We're going to use the data and the archives to better understand and stop these attacks.
The preservation of life stands as the very purpose of the archives. Using its data to prevent more attacks, there is logic there. But if I am to grant you access, I have a requirement. For years, House Varun has been known only as an agent of slaughter. We founded this embassy with hopes of shedding that legacy. With little success. In exchange for my code, I require this. You must be the one who ensures it is used for good. Ensure House Varun's legacy is more than just carnage. The knowledge you ask for isn't evil. No knowledge is. It is we who bend it to evil ends. Now, you must assure me this will be used to save lives, not endanger them.
You don't need my assurances. Independent observers will verify it's used responsibly.
We'll do everything we can to make certain that happens.
Well, then I shall not fear. Please, follow me.
What's the point of having one side longer than the other? Because it's just a style thing.
Let's hope it still works. And there.
Oh, nice.
Let it be used for good. I will not have House Varun be known only for slaughter.
So why'd the rest of the embassy staff leave? Where'd they go?
The affairs of House Varun are our own. They left. That is all there is to be said on the subject.
Why'd you stay behind?
House Varun committed itself to the armistice. This was said at the time to be the desire of the Great Serpent, and I do not believe the Serpent decides such things on a whim. So, when my brethren left, I remained, honoring the Serpent's will as I saw fit, as is the right of all his followers.
What's it been like, being from House Varun in New Atlantis?
It was tolerable, even pleasant, when my brethren were here in the embassy with me. We remade this place as best we could into a home we all would recognize. Our native flora, our iconography, our connection to the Serpent, they came with us. With my brethren gone, it has been trying. But the Great Serpent has always provided me a path in my darkest moments.
The Great Serpent. That's your god, right?
The Great Serpent is so much more than a god. It is fate itself. When our founder, Jinan Varun, left the United Colonies 140 years ago for distant stars, it was the serpent that compelled him to found his now great house. The serpent made us who we are today. Its voice speaks to us, shepherding us through the dark, and infuses our lives with the meaning the universe so often fails to provide.
All right. Seems reasonable, to be honest. Yeah. Ugh. Can you give me a key out of here? An antique videotape. VHS. Oh, tissues next to the bed. What have you been doing with that snake? Be able to just bounce on out of here. Okay, maybe not. What is going on here?
When you have a moment, I'd like to speak to you. Remember our last conversation, when you told me the artifacts made you feel like you were being pulled across the entire galaxy?
Sure.
Well, it got me thinking. So I dove into our archives and started looking through Constellation's older journal entries. Just because I wasn't familiar with the experience you described, doesn't mean the same might have been true for my predecessor.
You never mentioned your predecessor to me before.
Really? I'm surprised that I haven't. After reading those journals, all of the pleasant memories of my time spent with Aja just started flooding back.
Aja?
Aja Mamasa. She was the youngest member of Constellation when it was founded. Only took her 15 years to reach chair. Sorry, I sometimes get so caught up in my own bubble, I forget that I wasn't the first.
I feel like we've been making some good memories of our own.
Oh yes, absolutely. I didn't mean to compare. Those were just... oh, I don't know. Different times. Aja was the one that taught me the ropes at Constellation and took me under her wing as her protege.
Being paired with the boss must have been quite an honor.
Yeah, I thought so too. That's why I adopted her methods. You know, Aja and I logged quite a few interesting discoveries together. But it was the journey itself that I'll never forget.
Did you two discover anything I might have heard about?
We catalogued unusual stellar phenomena, a few habitable worlds, and some unique life forms, but nothing SSNN would bother to report.
I found the journey boring, but I live for the destinations.
Really? Well, for me, it was all about the quieter moments. There was nothing quite like sitting back and watching space bend, while listening to Aja spin vivid stories to fill the time. Oh, I find that sort of cozy isolation the best way to really get to know someone.
So I've noticed.
I'll take that as a compliment. Thank you. You know, all this talk about Aja reminds me that my time with her was a gift. I miss her dearly.
Oh, is she, dead?
No, she retired. Living on Porima 2 now, I think. Come to think of it, if we're ever out that far, perhaps we could pay her a visit, and I could make proper introductions.
Well, I'll do the best I can to make our journeys just as pleasant.
Well, I don't expect you to be a carbon copy of Aja. just be yourself. You see, it's clear that we share the same hunger to discover what's out there. And that, well, that's what intrigues
Is that the
me
case?
about
I'm not convinced. Well, you certainly have me all figured out.
Good. Then we're both on the same page. Anyway, that's all I had to discuss for now, so if you'd point the way, we can continue our journey.
Goodbye forever. On that note, though, I'm going to call it a night. I think maybe going to bed before midnight is going to be good for me. Anyway, take care of yourselves. Thanks for being out, and I'll see you next time. So dreamy.